Yo, what's good YouTube? It's Boardsy, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the cure to sweaty hands. Okay, what if I told you there was an object in your house that could provide you a consistent feeling grip across all mice, absorb sweat, and costs you no money? Would you believe me? Most likely, because this item is a tissue. And you can put a tissue on any mouse. I'll get into the specifics of this later. This is one of the harder steps. But yeah, once you can locate a tissue, you are golden. It's very cheap, like I mentioned before. Probably you won't even have to pay anything unless you buy a box of tissues, and that is a very cheap item, especially compared to like actual grip tapes that cost like $8 for one fucking pair, while this basically gives you unlimited grip tapes. Kind of insane. But it really does come down to the question of, do you want to use a tissue as your mouse grip tape? And I really think there's only one way to find out. You have to put a tissue on your mouse and use it. I would recommend using a mouse that you really hate the coating on, and it'll sort of force you to like it. For me, this was the Zowie S2. I love the mouse. Like, the weight, it doesn't bother me. It feels very stable, nice shape. But the fucking coating is just AIDS. So I put a tissue on it. I'm like, this is much less AIDS. And when you remove it, you can also get what I call a tissue buff. So if you play for like a few runs of Kovacs or like a few minutes with the tissue on the outside of your mouse and then go back to the normal mouse, it will feel like it just came out of the box, and it's just a way nicer experience. I don't even know how to describe it. So yeah, beware of the tissue buff. I would definitely recommend experimenting. But now we are getting to the most important part of the process, the molding process. So you could just think that you can drape your tissue over a mouse and be golden, but no, that is actually not the case. You have to specifically mold the tissue for your mouse, and specifically the mouse shape. So what you're going to do is first, you drape the tissue over. Try to have it relatively even on both sides. And then what you're going to do, depending on your grip, you put your fingers where they contact the mouse and then really push in. Make sure that it is isolated on the tissue. You can see that the tissue has basically now taken the shape of the mouse in all of the places it can, and this is perfect. This is what you want, because then when you swipe it around, no matter how hard you swipe, the tissue will never go under the mouse because of that fine mold you have just created. While if you just do something like this, you're already going to be experiencing issues just a few swipes in. So you really do want to mold. Apparently, CSGO pros have been doing this for decades. That doesn't surprise me, like, now that I think about it. I kind of did think I stumbled upon something, but apparently I did not come up with this idea. And yeah, once you have your mold set up, you're going to be good to go. You will be able to play in normal games, and it will feel, for the most part, the same. And especially if you can get like a bit of the tissue on your like palm/wrist, it feels a bit nicer than mousepad. No issues with swiping it around like with friction or anything. One issue, it isn't very durable because once again it is a tissue, and you can see it does start to wear down and crease up. But you do have like a few hours of game time with it, I'd say. And that's more efficient than the last mousepad paper household item I reviewed. So I don't know. This one really isn't all too bad. One issue though, if you are like super low sense and you pick up your mouse a ton, that is probably going to be an issue. You're going to be like a fucking bird flapping your wings trying to get your tissue to lie flat again. So yeah, if you pick your mouse up, that is going to be the one issue. But if you just do it like occasionally, you should be fine. But really, I don't know. I'm pretty impressed with the tissue mouse grips. They certainly beat out anything on the market in terms of price and compatibility. You can literally put this on any mouse. You could even put it on a keyboard. That would be ridiculous. I don't know why anybody would do that, but once again, it is possible. So really, unless you have a coating you hate, I don't think you're gonna prefer this over the mouse grip. But if you do experience like super sweaty hands and nothing has worked so far, you might as well give this a try. So is this a meme video? I'm not sure. It started out as one, but now I sort of like the tissue mouse grip. But really, I cannot emphasize this enough. Molding is important. You are going to have complaints if you do not properly mold. You can rewatch the molding section if you so desire. And yeah, the tissue does rip depending on how much pressure you're putting on it, but a few rips like that, they don't really hinder it. But if it opens up like that, you're fucked. And that's going to be all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video on the world's cheapest grip tape and possible solution to sweaty hands. That's going to be all. Make sure to like and sub.